I want to tell you a little story about a girl named Tanya. Tanya, by the way, is in her 50s now, and she's a grandmother. But when I met her, which was almost 50 years ago, we had a kids club. This was in Queens, and we just called it Kids Club. We didn't have a name for it. And Tanya lived about a block away from the church, and she used to walk on Saturday to the kids club. And she loved it. And about a year later, her younger sister started coming to the kids club. And then about a year later, her mother started coming to church because Tanya loved church so much that she started coming to Sunday school. And so her mother wanted to know why she wanted to go to church so badly, so she came. And she came to follow the teachings of Christ. And then a year later or so, the father came, and the whole family came to know God in a personal way because of little Tanya. I think about that story, and it was the first of many just like that. When a child comes to know Christ, comes to know God in a personal way, and their whole family does also. In order to answer a question like, why is children's ministry or ministering to children important? It almost sounds silly to me because it only makes sense. Like, would you say, should I feed my child today? No, you would never say that, because you just know you have to feed a child, because children are like little pieces of clay. You know, you take a piece of clay, you mold it, you let it dry, you leave it alone, and it stays in that form. It's the same thing with children. You have to feed them the right things. You have to feed them the truth of the gospel, the truth of who they are in God.
And I've heard of many families who will sit and watch television programming with their kids, and the whole family is changed. So there's definitely a cause to see children as evangelizers of their families, as well as helping form the future.
Yes, it's just so important. Everybody knows that you have to give a child good food or healthy food, and spiritually that's true too. So I think that anybody who invests time, money, efforts into children learning about God, they're doing the right thing. I don't think you could do better than that. I really don't.
And none of that is wasted.
No, not a drop or not a dollar.
Yeah.
We could say that. Dollars, I mean.
And the interesting thing is those will be multiplied. They won't just be one language or one country or even one generation. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it like pennies per child if you look at it over the course of...
Wow, I never looked at it
Yeah,
that way.
I mean, it is.
Very
It's a pretty
frugally
amazing.
put. Yeah. Very, and very, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I love the multiplication factor, that one thing can go so far.
Yes, and the funny thing is that it doesn't just go. We think that one event causes one situation or one conclusion, but it doesn't. It's always multiple, and so the multiplication factor, like you're talking about, is not just times two. You know, something happens to us and we think there's one result, but there's not. There's like 100 results. And with this, the gospel going forth through video, the gospel going forth through audio, the gospel going forth through social media, those things multiply time and time again. So yeah, it's worth it. It's worth telling children the truth. That's the most important thing you could do. And that's what we do here. We tell children, well, we tell everybody the truth. We tell them about the gospel. But with children, it's like reaching them when they're moldable, like that clay.